I never imagined my world could shatter so completely in the vast openness of Montana's ranchlands. My name is Emily Carter, and I've spent the last 8 years married to Jake, running our small cattle operation outside of Billings. The Big Sky country had always been our haven, wide open prairies, the distant Rockies cutting the horizon, and the kind of quiet that soothes the soul. But 5 weeks ago, that quiet turned into something terrifying, absolute silence. It started with a stubborn ear infection I'd picked up after a dusty roundup. I'd ignore it at first, popping antibiotics like candy. But one morning, I woke up to nothing. No lowing of the cows in the barn, no creak of the old wooden floors under my feet, no hum of the coffee pot brewing. Panic hit me like a stampede. I shook Jake awake, my lips moving but my voice sounding muffled even to myself, like I was underwater. He bolted upright, his blue eyes wide, and grabbed his phone to type. Can you hear me? I shook my head, tears blurring the screen. We sped to the ER in Billings, the truck bouncing over gravel roads that I could no longer hear.
Dr.
Harlan, the specialist, ran tests and delivered the blow, sudden sensory neural hearing loss from the infection. It's treatable, he wrote on a notepad, his mustache twitching as he spoke words I couldn't catch. But recovery isn't guaranteed. We'll monitor it closely. Jake squeezed my hand, his face a mask of concern. As a third-grade teacher at the local elementary, I relied on sound, kids' laughter, recess bells, parent conferences. Suddenly, I was on medical leave, my classroom silent in more ways than one. Those early days were a blur of isolation. The ranch felt like a prison, with its endless fields mocking my confinement. Jake stepped up. Or so I thought. He took time off from managing our herd to learn basic sign language apps and communicate via texts and notes.
His mom,
Mary, drove in from her place in Bozeman, bringing casseroles and writing encouraging messages. You're tougher than any bronc rider. Emily. Jake, and I got your back. Feeling the warmth of family in our drafty living room, the fireplace crackling soundlessly. But cracks started showing. I'd catch Jake and Mary in hushed talks, their lips moving rapidly before they noticed me and switch to smiles and casual notes like, just chatting about feed prices. Jake began handling all our mail and bills, saying it was to ease my load. Let me take care of the ranch finances while you heal, he'd write. I trusted him. We'd built this life together. From buying our first calves to weathering droughts. Why question it? My best friend, Sarah, a nurse at the county hospital, texted daily, but without phone calls. Our bond felt strained. I couldn't hear the coyotes at night or the wind whistling through the pines, vulnerability wrapped around me like barbed wire. Weekly checkups with Dr. Harlan brought no change. Keep up the meds, he'd scribble. Sometimes it takes time. Until yesterday. Sitting in his sterile office, the fluorescent lights buzzing faintly. Wait. Buzzing? He fitted the headphones for the test. And there it was, a soft beep. Then another. My heart leaped. I can't hear, I whispered. My voice rusty but real.
Dr.
Harlan beamed. Full recovery miraculous. Really? The inflammation finally subsided. He cautioned me, ease back in. Sudden hearing return can be overwhelming. Maybe observe quietly for a day or two before telling folks. I nodded, but unease gnawed at me. Driving home, the truck's engine roared to life in my ears. The radio blaring country tunes. Joy should have flooded me, but instinct whispered caution. Jake was home early, unusual for calving season. He greeted me with a kiss and a note. Doc update?
Elite.
Writing, no change.
Why?
Some gut feeling, honed from years spotting sick cattle from afar. That night, I feigned sleep while Jake whispered into his phone in the bathroom. Fragments. Timing's key. Plans solid. This morning, outside our bedroom, I froze at the door. Jake's voice. Low and urgent. Mom. Her deafness could be our ticket out of this mess. She can't hear a thing, perfect for moving forward. My knees buckled. This wasn't the man I'd married. I backed away, heart thundering like a summer storm. Jake's footsteps approached. I ducked into the bathroom, running water to mask my ragged breaths. Emerging, I played deaf, nodding at his note. Morning.
Hon.
Slept okay? In the kitchen, I poured coffee, ears attuned to every drip, while rage simmered. He left for work, but I heard him on the phone. Mom. Meet at noon. We'll finalize. Alone. I headed to his office in the barn loft, his sanctuary for ranch paperwork. The door creaked open. Desk cluttered with invoices. A framed photo of us at the county fair, grinning under cowboy hats.
I Rifle drawers, bank statements. Vet bills.
Then, a hidden folder in the filing cabinet. My breath caught. Legal docs, power of attorney, guardianship petition, competency eval. My name everywhere. Jake's notes. Document 6 to 8 weeks disability. Mom's land deal closes soon. Need control. Bank transfers. $75,000 siphoned from our joint account to an unknown one. Emails with a lawyer. Mr. Ellis. Wife's incapacity due to hearing loss. Grounds for financial authority. Nausea hit. This was my inheritance from Dad, $180,000 from selling his old homestead after his heart attack 2 years back. We'd agreed to save it for expanding the ranch or kids.
Now.
Balance, $105,000. He'd taken nearly half. I snapped photos on my phone, hands trembling. A text from Sarah. Are you holding up? Lunch. I typed back. Can't today. I needed proof. Not pity, yet. A truck rumbled up the drive. Jake and Mary. Early. I shoved everything back, dashed to the porch swing, pretending to read a ranching magazine. Their voices carried. You sure about this?
Jake?
Once filed.
No bucksies. Mom.
The Wyoming property flips gold. Buddy's holding a slot, $180K buy-in. Her money's ours legally. My blood boiled. That land deal, some speculative flip near Jackson Hole. He'd mentioned it casually. But this? Stealing under guardianship pretense? They entered the kitchen. I stayed put, ears straining. She's deaf.
Mom.
Helpless right now. I control her world, mail. Accounts. Casual betrayal stung like a scorpion. What if hearing returns? Mary asked.
Pause.
Doc says unlikely soon. By then, deal's done. Money tripled. She'll thank me. Thank him? For exploiting my pain? A knock, Sarah. Unannounced with sandwiches. Surprise visit, her voice rang. Jake tried blocking, M's resting. But Sarah pushed in, spotting my tension. Notepad. You okay? Decision time. I mouthed. I can hear. Her eyes widened. But she played cool. Let's check temp. Phone tilted. What's wrong? I typed. Jake's stealing inheritance. Lawyer meet at 2 for POA fraud. Sarah's jaw set. Notepad for show. Rest up. To Jake. Take care of her. Devoted hubby. Acid dripped. She left but idled nearby. Jake and Mary prepped to go. Ellis at 2, review papers. My chance. Texted Sarah. They're leaving. Her reply. Calling lawyer pal. Gather evidence. As Jake's truck faded down the dirt road, dust kicking up under the midday sun, I sprang into action. The ranch house, with its weathered logs and view of the grazing herd, felt like enemy territory now. I bolted back to the barn office, pulling out that damning folder again. More photos. Every page. Every scribble. Buried deeper. Emails between Jake and Mary. Ethical, she wrote. It's community property, he replied. Taking what's mine to save us. Save us? From what? His gambling on bad investments I'd vaguely heard about. Another gem. Notes on a land deal. Wyoming flip. 180K in, 500K out in months. Perfect timing with her condition. My condition, as if deafness was a business strategy. Rage fueled me. I forwarded pics to Sarah. Her call came seconds later, voice sweet music after silence.
Ing.
Thank God you can hear. I'm with my friend Lisa. Family law whiz. Speaker on, tell all. I spilled. Overheard plots. Stolen funds. Forged SIGs. Lisa's voice cut in. This screams fraud. Embezzlement. Exploitation of vulnerable adult under Montana law. Stop him before filing. Gets messy post-court.
How?
Evidence first. Then confront at Ellis's office. Call ahead, warn of fraud. Sarah, I'm turning around. We'll go together. She arrived in minutes. Her pickup skidding to a halt. We hugged fiercely. Her nurse's scrubs smelled of antiseptic and solidarity. That bastard, she muttered. Let's nail him. We pored over docs. Competency eval based on my permanent deafness, Dr. Harlan's reports twisted. Jake had intercepted my mail, including bank alerts. He's isolated you legally, Lisa advised via phone. File police report after. But halt the POA now. Clock ticking, 45 minutes to Ellis's firm in downtown Billings. Sarah drove like a rodeo champ, dodging semis on I-90. I dialed the office from the lot. Emily Carter for Mr. Ellis, urgent re. Husband's 2 p.m. appointment. Receptionist. Mrs. Carter? Mr. Carter said you couldn't use phones due to hearing impairment. I hear fine now. Tell Ellis if he proceeds, I'll report fraud to the bar. Hold music. Then Ellis. Mrs. Carter? Confused. Your husband cited incapacity for guardianship. I recovered yesterday. He's forging docs. Stealing my inheritance.
Amorut.
Jake's truck pulled in. Our eyes locked through the windshield. His face drained of color, me standing, phone in hand, hearing intact. He bolted out, Mary trailing.
Ing. You.
You can hear?
Yes. Jake.
Everything. We stormed the lobby. Ellis emerged. Suit crisp. Expression wary. Conference room. Tense air thick as Montana fog.
Jake está mered. Ing.
Let me explain. Explain exploiting my deafness? Stealing Dad's money for your land gamble. Mary. It was pressure. The ranch is struggling. Ellis. Allegations are serious. No filings yet. I laid out photos on the table. Transfers. Forgeries. This is criminal. Jake paled. I was borrowing to triple it. For us. The ranch. By declaring me incompetent? Controlling my life. Arguments flew, Jake defensive. Mary pleading. Sarah backed me. Police next. Ellis. I advise against proceeding. Mr.
Carter.
Mrs. Carter. Consider mediation. But betrayal burned.
No.
This ends now. We left them shell-shocked. Heading to the sheriff's office. Report filed. Fraud.
Theft.
Deputy nodded. Solid case. We'll investigate. Home that night. Ranch shadows long under the setting sun. I packed Jake's things. He showed later.
Pleagem em.
I screwed up. Love you. Love isn't theft. He left with Mary. Sarah stayed. Wine by the fire. You're strong.
Eminência.
This ain't the end. Sleep came fitful. Coyotes howling, a reminder sound was back. But trust shattered. Next days blurred. Lawyer meetings. Asset freezes. Jake's deal fell through. He returned $75,000, begging forgiveness. But hurt lingered. Community buzzed, small-town whispers at the feed store. I threw myself into ranch work, mending fences literally and figuratively.
Dr.
Harlan confirmed recovery. Teaching resumed part-time. Yet loneliness echoed in the empty house. A week later, unexpected, Mary at my door. Eyes red. Emily, I enabled him, wrong. But he's broken. Getting help for gambling. Gambling? Pieces clicked. His investments masked addiction. Why tell me? Foreclosure.
And.
He's sorry. I shut the door. But seeds of doubt sprouted. Was revenge all? Or room for humanity? Sarah urged caution. Protect yourself. Lisa filed divorce. But I paused on criminal charges. Montana law allowed restitution. Jake texted. Therapy starting. Miss our life. I ignored. But memories flooded. Shared sunrises. Calf births. Perhaps a humane path. Confront. Not destroy. The ranch demanded my focus in the following weeks. The prairies blooming with spring wildflowers under Montana's endless sky. Mornings started with coffee on the porch, listening to birdsong I'd missed so dearly. The herd lowed contentedly as I checked fences on horseback, the rhythm soothing my fractured heart. But Jake's betrayal lingered like a persistent drought, cracking the soil of my trust. Legal wheels turned slowly. Lisa secured a temporary restraining order on our assets, freezing the remaining inheritance. The sheriff's investigation uncovered more. Jake had dipped into ranch funds for prior deals, covering losses from online poker and risky stocks. Mary's involvement was peripheral, advising, not acting, but enough for accessory questions. Jake hired his own lawyer, pushing for settlement, return all funds. No charges, joint counseling. I wavered. Nights alone. Staring at our wedding photo, Jake in his Stetson. Me in a simple lace dress under the aspens, stirred mixed emotions. Love hadn't vanished. It morphed into pain. Sarah visited often. Her no-nonsense advice grounding. He exploited you when vulnerable. Don't forget that. But Dr. Harlan's words echoed. Healing's not just physical, emotional too. One afternoon, mending a gate near the creek, I heard a truck approach. Mary, alone, stepping out cautiously. Emily,
Can we talk?
not for Jake, for me. We sat by the water. Willows whispering. I raised him better. His dad's gambling ruined us years back. Jake swore he'd never follow. But stress, the ranch debts, your illness, pushed him over. And you helped plot against me? I thought it temporary. Alone. Stupid. Wrong.
I'm sorry.
Her tears seemed genuine, cracking my armor. Why the guardianship? Fear you'd say no to the risk. But it was theft. Plain. I nodded, anger softening to pity. Tell Jake, restitution first. Then maybe talk. She left, hope flickering in her eyes. Jake appeared days later.
Hat in Hand.
At the barn.
Ing.
Returned every cent, bank confirmed. Proof on his phone. Transfers back. Therapies helping, addiction group in Billings.
His eyes.
Once confident, now haunted. I saw your pain as opportunity. Unforgivable. Drama built. But I love you. Ranch without you's empty. I snapped. You made me feel helpless.
Tears fell.
I was scared too, losing everything. Poor excuse. We talked hours. Sun dipping low. He admitted all. Debts from secret bets. Land deal as desperate Hail Mary. No excuses. Just regret. Filed charges if needed. I deserve it. Montana law emphasized restitution for financial crimes. Prosecution often deferred if victims agreed. Humane angle tugged. Destroy him. Or rebuild. Sarah cautioned over dinner. Redemption's nice. But protect your heart. Yet. A light lesson emerged. Trust rebuilds with actions, not words. I proposed terms. Counseling together. Full financial transparency. Probation-like oversight. Jake agreed eagerly. First session with Counselor Ellen. Raw. Dramatic. Jake owned betrayals. I vented fears. Deafness stripped my independence. You stripped my dignity. He wept. I'll earn back trust. Progress slow. Like thawing winter ground. Ranch life intertwined. Jake helped with chores. Proving commitment. Community noticed. Whispers turned supportive. Mary baked apologies in pies. One evening, stargazing on the porch, Jake said, "Your strength saved us both." I leaned in. No, our choices will. But doubts lingered. Was this real? Or manipulation? Lisa reviewed agreements. Ironclad protections. You're in control now. Empowerment bloomed. Months passed. The Montana summer heat baking the earth, mirroring the slow burn of our reconciliation. The ranch thrived, calves fattened, hay baled under golden light. I returned to teaching full-time. The kids' voices a symphony I'd never take for granted. Jake attended meetings religiously, sharing ledgers openly. No secrets. Our finances audited quarterly. Counseling unearthed depths. Jake's childhood scars from his dad's ruinous habits. My own grief over dad's passing fueling inheritance protectiveness. Drama peaked in sessions, shouts. Tears. Breakthroughs. I felt emasculated by debts, Jake confessed. Your strength shamed me into weakness. And you shamed me into suspicion, I countered. Ellen guided. Forgiveness isn't forgetting, it's choosing growth. Mary redeemed herself, volunteering at the hospital with Sarah, aiding deaf patients. Atoning, she said over coffee. Her humility softened me. One weekend, we hosted a small barbecue, friends, neighbors. Jake grilled steaks, laughter echoing. Sarah pulled me aside. He's changed.
Eminência.
But stay vigilant. I nodded. Lesson learned. Vulnerability reveals true character. A turning point. Jake proposed selling his truck to cover remaining debts. Unprompted. No more risks. We invested wisely together, safe bonds. Ranch upgrades. Intimacy returned gradually. Built on respect. Not passion alone. No rushed romance, just shared sunsets. Honest talks. Legal closure. Prosecutor offered deferred adjudication. Jake completed probation. Community service. No record if compliant. I agreed. Emphasizing humanity. Punishment without redemption is hollow. Jake hugged me post-hearing. You gave me a chance I didn't deserve. Challenges arose. A bad market dip tested us. Jake suggested conservative cuts. I trusted his input. Growth evident. The ranch symbolized renewal. New barn rising. Symbolizing rebuilt foundations. One crisp fall day. Hiking the foothills.
Jake stopped.
I vow never again. I replied. I believe you. But earn it daily. Light lesson crystallized. Betrayal scars. But forgiveness heals, if earned through action. As winter snow blanketed the Montana plains, our life settled into a rhythm of quiet strength. The ranch house glowed with holiday lights, a far cry from last year's silence. Jake and I hosted Mary and Sarah for Christmas, laughter. Carols I could sing along to. No drama left, just gratitude. Jake's transformation stuck, leading an addiction support group, mentoring young ranchers on finances. Paying forward, he said. I advocated for hearing health at school, turning pain into purpose. Our bond deepened, deeper than pre-betrayal, forged in fire. One spring morning, watching calves frolic.
Jake tourne.
Thank you for seeing the man I could be. I smiled. We both grew. The lesson light but profound, in the West's vastness. Second chances bloom when watered with honesty and effort. Trust, once broken, can mend stronger if both sides commit. Life moved forward, plans for expansion, maybe kids. The silence that started it all became a reminder. Listen closely, not just with ears, but heart. In Big Sky country, horizons are endless. So too, the capacity for redemption.